Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
A very warm welcome in second capsule version of the course Roadmap for Patent Creation. In the first capsule version, we have discussed a few questions which you have raised or asked on the forum, and we have discussed these questions in detail in the first capsule version. Now in the second capsule version, Priyadarshini has gone through the questions, and she has some questions, and we will just discuss that question. So let us start, Priyadarshini.
Ma'am, my first question is regarding PCT application and conventional application. There was a lot of issues raised at the forum regarding how many countries and how what is the correct answer of that specific question.
Yeah. So that one thing is there, PCT and Paris Convention. When we are dealing with that thing, Paris Convention, there are 177 countries, and PCT, that is a Patent Cooperation Treaty, there are 152 members. So 177 Paris Convention and 152 PCT members. So that is like fixed, that is one, as of now the number is like a 177 and 152 Paris Convention and a PCT.
And ma'am, second question is regarding the Brexit issue, which is still happening. So one of the questions was regarding now that because of Brexit, the 10 countries out of now 28 are considered as European Union, and when Brexit happens, 10 would be subtracted from that. So how those 10 countries are still filing European patents?
Brexit, that is a British exit, that kind of thing is there, okay. But considering the European Union, now there are 38 members, right? Brexit, somebody raised query, that is why not 28 countries now, right?
Yes,
so the thing is that still there is no any notification, still there is no implementation or any communication from European Union to any of the patent office, or there is no any, what we can say, the guidelines for that thing. So as of now, till today, we will consider as a 38 members for the European Union. As and when that change will be there, obviously that will be applicable.
Yes. And secondly, there was another issue regarding things which are not patentable under Indian Patents Act. That was section 3 and section 4.
Yeah. So we have to consider both sections definitely. Section 3, which clearly gives the idea about the inventions which are not patentable in India. Very unique section in Indian Patents Act 1970. So yes, the section 3 is important, and section 4 is also important, and it is also the related to the inventions. If there is any secrecy directions are there, defense related inventions are there that are not patentable. So we can consider the section 3 also, section 4 also, when we are talking about inventions not patentable in India.
And ma'am, consider a situation where I go for patenting, I file patent, and as soon as I file the patent application, I go to a journal and publish that same work. Is that possible? I have written something, I have come up with some invention. First thing I do is I pick up my pen and paper and I write the patent draft and I go and file patent. After that, till the time the patent office is processing my application, I go and same thing I give it to a conference. Can I publish after I have filed patent in a journal?
So this question is very important. Most of the research scholars and the what we can say many faculty member also face this question. The thing is that when we consider a patent filing, there is a term that is it was previously it was like a publish or perish. Now it is said that patent, publish or perish. It's the thing which is said. The thing is that obviously if you want to go for the publication, and if you feel that okay, novelty, non-obviousness, industrial applicability, stability, if these criteria are applicable to your case, obviously you will go and first file a patent, secure a priority, and immediately suppose you file a patent in patent office now and come out and you do any what we can say publication of your patent, that is absolutely fine, because you have now secured the priority. So obviously, and that is a very good route is what we can say we suggest, and it is recommended that before what we can say publication, file a patent, then do publication. That is absolutely fine.
Okay. And another question would be regarding the royalties which an inventor gets from a patent. If I have invented something and I work in an institution, so the patent goes to the institution.
Right.
It's filed in the name of the institution. But assignee, the inventor should always get the royalties. So how do we
Acha,
balance,
okay.
or what is the procedure?
So the scenario is that it is like a it's like a scenario which should be handled by the institute or organization where the person is working. So the thing is that for this, IP policy is the most important thing, because policy gives you the directions and guidelines how the what we can say the sharing, whatever the profit sharing or whatever the profits or after commercialization, whatever benefits you are getting, how that will be shared among the inventors or among inventors and assignee. Everything should be covered in the policy. So generally, the thing is that most of the organizations, if I talk about the institutes, academic institutes, the Institute of Higher Importance, already they have IP policy. So they have clearly mentioned that okay, if patent is filed, assignee will be the institute and owner, as we know that assignee is the owner of the patent. So all rights will be with the assignee. Now inventors, it is very clear that inventor is like getting the, he is a part of that invention. Definitely in the policy it is clearly written that sharing between assignee and inventor. It is generally 70-30 or 60-40. What is the meaning is that 70% will be taken up by the inventor and 30% will be taken up by the assignee, or it may be 60% taken by the inventor and 40% will be taken by the academic institute or the assignee who is owning that patent. So general thing is that either 70-30 or a 60-40. That is mostly the most IIT follow this kind of sharing, revenue sharing you can say, or royal, what I will say the revenue sharing only, whatever is there. Now the thing is that if you go see the engineering colleges or other colleges in the country, most of the organizations have not drafted their policy. So that is a major thing.
Concern.
So the thing is that if you are entering into or establishing your IPR cell, the first thing you should do along with IP awareness is a drafting IP policy. You can just what in that IP policy you have to take care of copyright thing, and then that who will own the patent, who will own the thesis, who will own the teaching material, all these things you have to take care in that policy, and you have to give the guidelines, right? So once you draft that IP policy, it gives a clear guidelines. So we can't say that there is any standard format or anything for the revenue sharing among inventor and assignee. Policy of that particular organization, that will determine what will be the revenue sharing. So it is a whole soul, what we can say the internal matter of that organization, but for managing that internal matter, policy will be the best what we can say instrument to handle any issues which may rise after commercialization. So it is always better if you are establishing your IPR cell, the first most important thing you will draft the IP policy. And remember that it is a concept, or most of the people think that IP policy once it is draft, okay, it's like a final. It's not always like that, rather it is never like that. I have seen the organizations which change the policy as the market change. So the thing is that within 3 months also they will change the some clauses and all that thing. So you should keep that open end into the IP policy when you will draft that IP policy for the organization or for anything. It is better that you should give the what we can say, keep that space to change the IP policy as and when required. And whenever you will do that or draft that IP policy, always keep it open to the all stakeholders. So all stakeholders should see the policy and they should follow the guidelines which are given in the policy. That is a very important thing. Now the next thing is that when you are considering the IP policy, case to case basis, whenever you go or when you start your IPR cell starts growing, you will face issues, different issues will come, you have to solve that issues. And what will happen that in the process you will learn that okay, there must be change, we should do the change in the policy. So at that time you have to change the policy and you have to, what we can say, update that policy accordingly. And therefore if you see in the IP policy, always on what we can say in the page, always it should be written last updated. So whatever the last updated latest version is there, then that version will be applicable, right? So that way you can consider the implementation of IP policy, and this is the responsibility of the organization or a institute. If you are dealing, if you are establishing IPR cell and all that thing, if it is that IP policy is not there, it is better that the inventor or the stakeholders who are there, faculty members and all that thing, they can just suggest to the administration that okay, we can have a IP policy and you can just draft that thing.
So ma'am, if in case my institute forgets to update the policy, or as you said it is mentioned last updated on, if there is a situation where the percentage of royalty sharing was something which was beneficial for me, so I worked hard, I filed a patent, I gave my patent to the institute, but suddenly they come up that now the percentage has changed, so I can go forward and claim that on the basis of policy which was there. So that is how it is important, the updated version.
Exactly what you have pointed out is very important, that institute should take responsibility that okay, policy is visible, everybody should have easy access to the policy document, and you should clearly mention the last updated and version, which version is there. Maybe you can give 1.2, 8.1, whatever your coding system is there, you have to decide that, but you should give that clearly in the document, because it's a very important document. Based on that the guidelines or the people who are stakeholders are taking the guidelines from that policy. So you have to be very careful about the IP. It's a very important document which what we can say you have to take care of that thing.
Another question would be, how does patent analytics pave the way for technology transfer? How important is patent analytics?
See, patent analytics, when you are saying, it is such a wonderful tool. If you do that or use it perfectly, it can make a wonders. So for example, what I can say, that a simple, what she has pointed out, the only one example of a technology transfer or a one, what we can say, commercialization aspect she has taken. But in the module, in the one of the modules, we have given you the idea about patent searching and what are the different benefits of that patent searching, and then patent analytics. So we have given you the idea that okay, prevent duplication, bridging the gap, valuation, right, or what we can say, the technology transfer, all these things we have covered them. But how it is important again? So important is, I can give you 2-3 examples of how the patent analytics can help you in the technology transfer. Patent analytics, in that you can do assignee mapping, you do technology mapping, right? You are dealing with the inventor and inventor related mapping, geo mapping you can do. So all this kind of thing you can do with the patent analytics. Sitting simple one computer you will require, paid databases or a free databases, whatever available, you can just go through that thing and you do the analytics. Now once you do this analytics, you get the clear cut idea about the, if you are dealing with a technology mapping, you get the idea about that complete technology landscape, then you get idea about white spaces, then you can based on that you can get a technology trained analysis, where the technology is moving, simple thing. If you do the assignee mapping, you can see the different collaborations done by that particular assignee. Then based on that you can judge, okay, if this assignee is doing collaboration with this organization, probably where the technology is moving or why that collaboration is there, you can just judge that kind of
the
thing.
direction
of the that acquisition, mergers and all kind of thing, that you can decide based on the assigning mapping. The next thing is that inventor mapping you can do, that is that you can just go through the patent analytics and you can see that okay, this inventor, he's having this patents, he is having these research publications, and now what we can say, he is associated with this assignee and this assignee is moving in this direction. So you can just build up the linkage by using the patent analytics, right? Now how you can just relate it with the technology transfer? the thing is that unless until you do patent analytics, you means you do technology transfer in one or the other way. There are different ways are there, but we can say that patent analytics can be a base for that thing that can help you to design your strategy, design your management of a technology, and that way that information, that intelligence which you receive or that insights which you receive from the patent analytics, you can apply during the technology transfer. And one more important thing, remember that people think, oh, technology transfer, it is a last stage of research. It never works in that way. Your research planning, like from a zero, your commercialization, that patent IP management planning, that is where when the patent should be filed, how the procedure should be. So research planning, that is in short R&D planning, this patent filing and all kind of things, that is a IP management kind of thing, that is a second thing, and third, that is a technology transfer or commercialization. So these three things, right, they should go parallelly. They will not work in silo, right? One will be finished, then we will start next, never. Research will start, immediately IP management will start, immediately your technology transfer related, commercialization related activities will start. Once if you go this tightly, then only what we can say, your research will be successful. That will be the fruitful thing. That will be like you are doing the path, patents are coming, publications are coming, you have already thought of commercialization. So that will be a ideal situation, we can say.
So it might be a lot of things to handle for us, but then this is the best way to
This is
go
the best
forward.
way, and yeah, and if you go through the what we can say in research planning related that videos which are there in the week, that I guess 6, 7 and 8 week are there. So if you can just go through that, you can easily plan your research planning, IP management and the technology transfer. That will help you a lot.
And ma'am, next question would be relating to express route. Can you elaborate on the express route for filing patents?
Right. So we have said that in the patent application at IP India site or means Indian Patent Office, whatever we have seen, and we have given you the idea that okay, generally it is like a 3 to 5 years it will be. So it's a standard thing based on the queue, the technology and all kind of thing. That is a standard thing. Now if anybody want the express, what we can say, if anybody want to expedite that examination and he or she want a early grant of the patent, then there is a provision in the law. You can just use that provision. Form 18 is there, Form 18A is there, expedited examination, because 9 is for publication, 18 is for the examination, normal examination, that is, and 18A you can give that expedited examination. Now with that examination request, you can expedite, definitely you can expedite your examination by using this route, and if you follow that route, definitely within 1 year also you can get the grant of the patent. So that route is definitely available here.
Next question is asked by a participant of our course. He says that he has filed patent in May 2017, and he has paid the fee for publication and examination, and he wants to ask your opinion that now he has checked his status on IP India site, so they are showing it is not yet published. So what would you tell him, how should he proceed?
So if it is filed in May 2017, the patent is filed, right, it should be published within 18 months. So till this time, definitely publication should be, it should be there. But if you are not getting the published thing, I will suggest that you just give us the application number, drop an email to us, give the application number, we will just check and we can just communicate specially on that thing, what is the status of that particular publication, what the issue is, that we can share with you, definitely.
Ma'am, our next question relates to the complete specification filing and provisional filing of the patent application. It is followed, the participant asks, he wants to know that what exactly can be amended or changed during the final evaluation of the provisional patents before it is granted, and can we help him with the samples of provisional application?
So you want to know the difference between provisional and complete structure of that patent, provisional patent structure and a complete patent structure. So complete patent structure we have already shared with you, a detailed 3 videos are there, how to read a patent. In that we have dealt with the how to read a patent, that whole different parts of a patent, starting from the title, field of invention, then the figures is there, background is there, summary of the invention is there, then after that the detailed description is there. After detailed description, in that you can add a best method of working, or the different compositions. If you have suggested, you can just share that thing. All data which is required for the patent, you can share it in a detailed description. Then you have, after that, the claim part is there, abstract part is there, then the first page obviously the bibliographic information is there with the number of claims, drawings. That standard structure of a complete specification is there. What
And
about
we
a
have
provisional?
Yes, ma'am. And we have provided reading material also.
Yeah, in
there
the
we
reading
have-
material you have seen the standard format of the complete specification. So you have with that particular thing. Now what is the difference between, what is that differs, it means that in provisional thing what is not there? The first thing is that claim part is never in the provisional patent application. Second thing is that it is not expected you to write this format, means patent complete specification format is there. So complete specification is expected in a particular format with that particular page number, this page size is important, how many, what we can say, words and lines and all that thing specification is required. Drawings are very specific, you have to number it with the numbers, and then you have to describe in the description that sheet, how to write the information on the drawing sheet. All these guidelines are there. We have to be means very diligent while what we can say drafting the complete specification. You cannot miss any of the guidelines in that thing. So you have to be very careful in complete specification, and again the claim is a very important part of the complete specification. So the strict guidelines are there, in that way only you have to give the complete specification. Considering the provisional patent application, the scenario is that it is not necessary, there is no any definite structure as such, but whatever you can think, means you can give the photographs of whatever the invention is you are working on. You can broadly write down what exactly you are working, what is your what we can say, what is the outcome of your research, what probably applications will be there. So when we consider the novelty, non-obviousness and industrial application, we think of a three criteria mainly with the patent, right? So what you can do related to these three points, whatever information is there, without any structure also, if you write down in the provisional application, that will be okay. But you have to give the complete, what we can say, the provisional application and a complete specification based on provisional application. When you are drafting, it is important that everything which is covered in the provisional, that only considered in the complete. Any extra thing you can't add in the complete specification which is not there in the provisional. So we have to take care that when you are writing or drafting the provisional specification, the scope of that, you are like defining the scope of your invention. So you have to be careful only in that aspect, that the scope of the invention, how you are defining. So whenever you are writing, there is no any structure, standard structure as such, but you can follow this structure if you are if you would like to, but it is not mandatory to follow. And obviously claims are not there in the provisional patent application, definitely that are not there. So if you go on IP India site and you can search, means where you will find that provisional and complete. The simple thing is that just visit IP India site. There you can just, we have shown you how that IP India site is there. Public search is there. In that public search you visit, there are granted patent and published patents are there. What you can do, you can just visit any of the patent where there is a possibility that few of the patents are filed after provisional patent. So you can get a provisional draft also and a complete specification also. You can just compare that provisional and complete. But again, don't get what we can say, the few people, they follow that standard structure when they are filing the provisional. So the possibility is that if you see that provisional application which is having that standard format which is followed in the complete specification, so that possibility is there. So don't get impression that okay, that standard format is necessary for provisional, and not any such standard format is required. So you should remember that thing. Simple writing covering your invention and establishing that novelty, whatever that novelty related things are there, industrial application related things are there, and non-obvious related things are there. If that points you mention, and if any photographs are there, because you know you don't know how to draw drawings for that particular patent, so you can just give the photographs of the particular that object or that product, that is also fine. but you can explain that thing. But the only thing you have to remember when you are drafting the provisional is that you will keep the scope broad, so that when you are drafting the complete specification, you will not lose any important thing. That is the most important thing. But there is no any standard format for provisional patent. Okay.
So ma'am, if there are some things which I don't want to include in complete specification, that is up to me what has to be amended or edited from the provisional.
Yeah, from the provisional you can amend, means whatever from the provisional, when you go to next step, that is a complete specification, you can remove things, but you can't add things. That is the most important thing.
Okay.
So you have to take care of that thing.
Okay. And ma'am, there is another question regarding the IP legal system. The question asked is about, are there chances of the opponent or big competitors are always there? When we talk about pharmaceutical industries, we know there are huge competitors in the market. Is there a possibility that our patent, or if I file a patent, it is rejected just on the basis of there exists some glitch in the system or corruption in the system?
No, not at all. Means I tell you, the scenario is that this patent system is so foolproof that there is zero chances of this kind of I will say that there is a zero chances, because see, the scenario is that you have a written proof, you have filed a patent, such a transparent system is there. Each and every communication with the patent office is available for examination on patent site to anybody. Means if I get a number and if I want to examine what is a series of actions or applications which are filed by the applicant, everything is available on the website. So you can just visit the website and you can see the documents. Next thing is that there are oppositions, pre-grant and post-grant oppositions are there, 2 strong opposition systems are there. And in such scenario, with all the what we can say, the transparency, there is zero chances that there is any glitch in the system or there is any what we can say, corruption and all that thing. Zero chances, because system is very transparent.
Okay. Next question which we have, I think there is some confusion regarding medical treatment and medical procedures or pharmaceuticals. The question is, if medical treatments are not allowed to be patented, then how do pharmaceutical drugs get patented?
So that difference is there.
Yes,
See,
sir.
what section 3 says, that any surgical methods, right, that are, or any methods which are related to treatment to animals, human, plant, and anything which is hampering the environment, nothing is patentable. Fine. So that is our section 3. Now drugs, there is another section, mere admixture, right, that is not patentable. New use of a known substance, that is not patentable. If you remember this section 3, there are the things which are not patentable. But the thing is that drug, whatever is there, that is a product. If it is follow a novelty thing, non-obvious thing, and the industrial applicability. So novelty is important. First time in the world that product is formulated, then the industrial application, obviously curing the disease, and the next is like a non-obviousness. If 3 criteria are followed by a particular drug, definitely drugs are patentable. So we have to understand the difference. A drug is a chemical product, some chemical or maybe Ayurvedic, whatever it may be, but it is a some product. And section 3 says that treatment related things, surgical methods are not patentable. Any treatment related things are there that are not patentable, but drugs are definitely patentable. So just understand that difference. Drug is a product, but again they have it should not be a that mere replacement of molecules and all kind of thing. That section 3 already clarified that thing. So please remember this difference.
Last question would be relating to section 4 about atomic energies being not patentable. So the question asked is that under section 4, if we place atomic energy which is not patentable, why is it that specific technology is not patentable? Because it is, again, it qualifies to be a technology.
Right. So see, the section 4 is like a very important section, considering the defense and this atomic energy related any inventions are there. The thing is that as a country, if any secrecy is to be maintained, then we have to maintain that thing, and therefore we have to, what we can say, that considering the section 4, anything which is related to that kind of, means if any organizations which are involved in defense activities, obviously there's any inventions from that organizations definitely will be scrutinized specially, and if it is like important to maintain the secrecy, then that will not be patentable. But I can give you the example that okay, if a defense organization is there, defense organization have to work in apparel also, in textile also, in special food, special apparel, that kind of thing. Just don't consider that only guns and all that instruments related to that, just keep this part aside. But there are parts like you need some specific instruments to survive in that what we can say the odd conditions, right? For that you may have device, or you can develop some products for that thing. You can develop some products for considering the apparel. You can develop some components considering the food, which will be important. Means if in that odd condition, whatever that particular products are required, you can just think of that kind of thing, and I guess there should not be any issue definitely for patenting that kind of thing. But again, that is the decision which is taken by the government. We are not the one to take the decision, but we can think of this kind of thing, and there might be a few areas which may not directly hamper the secrecy thing, then obviously you can consider that kind of inventions for a patenting.
So technology which relates to defense and is of national importance is taken up by the government, which is not disclosed. But anything which relates to defense sector which can be publicly shared, that is always
that definitely that can be patented, and obviously that will be the good revenue resource for the
so ma'am, there is possibility that after few years government might give up that patent and make it public. If in like, to be specific, not about atomic energy or atomic power plants or nuclear energy, but any other defense equipment, or as we talk about aeroplanes or missiles.
See, if that technology is important, obviously, and then again we know that technology life is always small than the legal life. If technology is moving fast, and if you are holding the patent which is not required, obviously you will surrender, and you will not maintain that patent. So that patent will come into public domain. But see, as a country, obviously this is like a government decision, so it will be obviously it will be good for the public only, whatever the decision will be taken. But maybe the thing is that some textile related thing is there, food related thing is there. Government can think of a small, what we can say, that can be a good revenue source for the government also, if they can think of a patent and they can think of because we have to think of that kind of thing also. They can also do the commercialization considering this, and through that they can obviously the organization can generate the revenue.
Exactly, because we have our shoulders place in Leh, Ladakh, Siachen. These places are very cold, so special boots, special coats,
right. So if something
special
like that,
sort of food is always given to them.
So defense organization can have a patent, and they can give to private organization and license that thing and do the technology transfer. It's easy to say that, oh, do technology transfer. This is a very big process and all that thing. But yes, we can. This can be a good revenue generation for that organization, definitely. So
we come to the end of
the
questions.
So I guess there are these very good questions, and you keep on asking questions. Although we will finish our course next week, you can keep asking questions. If you have any queries, you can drop an email to us. We will try to answer your questions. And if you have any suggestions, definitely your feedback will be important. You can just drop an email to our the email ID which is given. You can just drop an email, and that will be very useful to us. Thank you so much.